Okay, have you ever stopped to think about how all the trillions of cells inside your body work together? I mean, from your heartbeat to a single thought, it's all perfectly coordinated by a kind of hidden language. So today, let's dive into the secret world of cell signaling.
Right. This is the big question, isn't it? The fundamental challenge of being, well, us. Your body isn't just one big blob. It's this incredible society of specialized cells. You've got skin cells, brain cells, heart cells, and they all have to act like a single coordinated team. So, how in the world do they pull it off?
Just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, that's roughly how many cells are in your body right now, 37 trillion. I mean, just trying to get them all on the same page is a communication problem that's almost impossible to imagine. And yet, your body just does it every single second. And the solution is something called cell signaling. You can think of it as the body's internal internet, right? It's this massive chemical communication network that lets cells send and receive messages, making sure every cell is doing its job at exactly the right time.
So, how does this network actually work? Well, it functions a lot like the body's own postal service. And like any good postal service, it really comes down to two main things. You've got the messages themselves, and then you have the mailboxes designed to receive them. So on one side, you have what are called ligands. These are the actual messages, tiny little molecules that carry very specific instructions from one cell to another. And on the other side, you have the receptors. Now, these are the mailboxes. They're protein structures sitting on or inside a cell, just waiting for their specific message to arrive.
And you've definitely heard of some of these messages before. Hormones like insulin, which tells your cells to soak up sugar, or adrenaline, which kicks off that fight or flight response, those are classic ligands. Same goes for neurotransmitters like the serotonin that helps regulate your mood. The process itself is actually pretty straightforward. First, a cell sends out a ligand, the message. That message travels around until it finds a cell with the perfect receptor, the mailbox. It binds to it, and that causes the receptor to literally change its shape. It's like flipping a switch, which then kicks off a specific action inside that cell. But here's the most critical, most brilliant part of the entire system. How does a message like insulin know to go to a liver cell and not, say, a brain cell? Well, this brings us to the golden rule of cell communication, the perfect match. In this massive, bustling internal postal service, you just can't have messages going to the wrong address. That would be absolute chaos, right? The entire system relies on this incredible precision to make sure every single message gets to its intended destination, and only its intended destination. The secret is shape. It all comes down to the complementary shapes of the ligand and its receptor. The analogy is perfect. It's like a key fitting into a lock. A key for your house isn't going to open your car. It's the same thing here. A ligand will just float right past any receptor that isn't its one in a trillion perfect match. And this is exactly why different cells respond to different messages. A liver cell is just covered in receptors for insulin because its job is to manage blood sugar. A brain cell is studded with receptors for serotonin to help manage mood. Your heart cells, they've got adrenaline receptors so they know when to start beating faster. See, each cell only has the mailboxes for the mail it's supposed to get.
So, this system is elegant, it's precise, and it's absolutely essential for keeping us alive. But what happens when these lines of communication break down? As you can probably guess, the consequences can be pretty severe.
Yeah, when signals don't get sent, or when they're ignored, or maybe even worse, when cells start spamming the gross signal nonstop, it's a direct path to disease. In fact, a lot of the health conditions we're most familiar with are, at their very core, problems with cell signaling. Just take type 2 diabetes, for example. That's a classic case, where cells start to ignore the insulin signal. Or think about many cancers, where the pathways that tell a cell to grow basically get stuck in the on position. And in autoimmune disorders, totally confused signals can cause the immune system to mistake your own healthy cells for foreign invaders.
Okay, so this is more than just some fascinating biology, right? Understanding this secret language is one of the most powerful tools we have to improve human health. It's completely changed how we approach medicine. It makes sense, doesn't it? Because if you can understand the signals, you can start to intervene. You can figure out how to fix those broken lines of communication, maybe block a harmful message, or even amplify a good one. This is the bedrock of modern pharmacology. In fact, a huge number of the medicines we rely on are essentially
signal hackers. They are designed specifically to interact with this communication system, either by blocking a receptor from getting a bad signal or by mimicking a good signal to boost its effect. A perfect everyday example is a simple painkiller. When you get injured, your cells send out pain signals. Those are the ligands. Well, painkillers work by getting in the way. They physically block the receptors on your nerve cells so the pain message never actually gets delivered. No reception, no pain. It's that direct. And that really brings us to the final big thought. We are getting better and better at decoding the cellular language. We're actually learning how to write our own messages. So the huge question for the future is this. If we can truly learn to speak the language of ourselves, what incredible new instructions can we give them? What problems can we teach them to solve for us?